All right, good morning, Pirate fans. This is the inaugural first episode of the Coach BOZZ Show. I'm Bobby Blackjack, also Seton Hall graduate, and cover the women's and men's team and whatnot. And we're here for our first show. Coach BOZZ, how are you doing today?
Bobby, great to have this year. I appreciate you doing it, and I'm really thrilled to have all our Pirate fans follow us all year and really keep them up to date on everything. A couple of great features. Obviously, have a great player with me today, and we'll have that every week as well.
Very good, very good. So, Coach, congrats on that first win Tuesday night. As you mentioned, and I own a team that you previously coached several years ago. But you mentioned that last year there were a 27-win team that made the big dance. So to come out on all cylinders firing must have been pretty exciting for you and your team.
It was. I mean, the young lady next to me, McKenna White, really had a great game. Led our team in rebounding and second. It was her aggressiveness, her talking that really got us going. I just think, obviously it's not the same. I own a team. They have a new head coach. My former point guard is now their head coach, and she's going to do a great job. Angelica Sumuglia. I just think, we came out with a lot of confidence. We really focused on what we do well. Let's play defense.
I'll tell you, it's almost like a flip of the script because they had one or two pretty big ladies there. One was 6'5", I believe, which is almost like Cindy Cooks the past couple of years. So it's almost like you had a reverse team there from what you had the past couple of seasons.
We did, but a kid like McKenna here is an aggressive player, a tremendous defender. Really did a great job. I mean, I think we understood the scout. McKenna had 3 steals herself just based on the scout and anticipating out of bounds plays. And while they had some good size, we have good size, but we have really smart players as well, and they're very aggressive. So that helps, combat the maybe the few inches we don't have.
So McKenna, I noticed the first thing I noticed on my notes Tuesday night was that you didn't play in the game last week, correct?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did play?
Yes.
Oh, I must have missed your stats then. I made a different. All right. So what's your background of basketball? Get us acclimated to the fan base of yourself and where you started, where you came from, and where you want to go.
Yeah, tell us who you are. Tell us who you are.
I am from Farrell, Pennsylvania. I graduated from a small school, West Middlesex. It's about 5-10 minutes away from where I lived. I am a transfer from UMass. I was at UMass for 3 years, and then I decided to hit the transfer portal, ended up here. I'm very excited to be here. This is a great opportunity. Just as coaching staff, my teammates, we're working hard each and every day, trying to get, 1% better each day. It's a lot of season left. It's just the beginning and we're just getting started.
Fantastic. So how many years of eligibility do you have left at Seton Hall?
I have 1 more year.
After this one?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. And Coach, I meant to ask you that one of my first questions. Now, someone like Amari Wright, does she have another year yet? I know it's kind of, we're getting off of that COVID, eventually that's gonna stop, right? The players who were, freshmen or back then are starting to maybe losing their eligibility. Is that going to stop soon?
Yeah, Bobby, this is the last year of McKenna's class and Amari's class to have the extra year. So after McKenna's class and Amari's class, which is considered almost a senior class, after that they have the 1 extra year. So Amari will have an extra year as well. And Amari and McKenna are huge cornerstones of the program right now, but clearly for the future as well. For us to be the level of team that we want to be this year and next year, Amari and McKenna are 2 of our main keys.
Fantastic. McKenna, is there any of the maybe WNBA players that you kind of model your game after? Who are your favorite players in the game?
I really like Asia Wilson. I just like her toughness. She's a very big anchor on their team. Them just winning the WNBA title. So just, watching her, just her poise, her confidence on the court and how much she does off the court. So I really like that. And that's what, I strive to be like.
I was actually, before the summer started, I was had a long weekend to have some business interests in Vegas. So I was out there and actually took on an Aces game. What an environment for women's basketball to see the fans being that into it, and celebrity guest Shaquille O'Neal was in the audience. So it was really cool to see the growing sport of women's basketball.
Yeah, I would definitely say the environment here. I feel like that's the same environment. It's very loud in our gym. The fans are always there to support us. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. Them coming to watch us, filling up the gym, like all that support just keeps us going and fuels us each and every game.
Well, McKenna, I'm sure Coach will attest to this. Get ready for next Wednesday when the arch rival Rutgers, Lady Scarlet Knights come in. It's going to be a packed gym, very loud, and the way the team started, I can't wait for that game on Wednesday.
Yeah, Bob, that we are excited, but first and foremost, we have Columbia.
Yeah, Columbia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've played there, and it was sold out a couple of years ago in the NIT playoffs. It was one of the best games I've ever been a part of. And then they beat us in a great game last year, and then they went to the WNIT championship last year. So, it would be a very competitive, physical, tough game. And then we have Bryan on Sunday, which won their first game by 20 points. A brand new coach. McKenna's former assistant at UMass is there. So she'll have some familiarity for us, McKenna, so she can tell us a little bit, hopefully, what's going to happen. and then Rutgers.
Fantastic. Well, we got here. So let's get back to the game on Tuesday. Obviously, now, Coach, I remember I've covered your team for a couple of years now. I remember last year especially, you had quite a few post-game pressers where you were very, I don't want to say agitated, maybe is the word, of the lack of energy of your team. But I've noticed from even the game on Thursday and the game on Tuesday, this team seems like it did a 180-degree turnaround as far as the intensity. You're challenging inbound passes. You had 2 steals on inbound passes Tuesday night.
Yeah, he did.
You're challenging everything. The ball's going out to the wing. Shots being challenged. What was the catalyst of the change this year?
I'll let McKenna answer that.
Okay, McKenna.
I would definitely just say, Coach B definitely set the tone coming in the summertime. He really told us, what he was looking for out of each and every one of us. When we bring that each and every day, the energy, the effort, the 1-2, I feel like that's what makes us so great. And, our best is yet to even come. I mean, I feel like we're just scratching the surface on what we're going to do this season. But when he set that tone, everybody else, just follow suit. My biggest thing is I like to talk. I am very loud. And if that helps my team, win, then that's what I'm here to do.
Fantastic. Coach, I think actually it was a Big East Media Day. What was your reaction to your peers voting you 5th in the, was that something you're okay with? A little unokay with?
I honestly, Bob, I think I said this to you. I think it says a lot of respect for our program. I mean, listen, we lost, arguably the greatest post player to ever play here in Sydney Cooks. She scored 1,200 points in 2 years. She was a fantastic player.
Wow.
And obviously, we lost a great talent in Lauren Park Lane. I mean, Lauren, our second all-time leading scorer, our all-time leading assist person. Obviously played, tremendous for us here as well. So we also lost Maya Bembry. She's a big cog of this program. I mean, so we lost 3, starters. Other teams in other years would be picked 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and we weren't. We were picked 5th because of, I think the tradition of the program, returning players such as Nazana Baines and Kay Satterfield, and people didn't even know how good Amari Wright is. Amari Wright's one of the best point guards in the country. She's a tremendous player. Shea Higgins is back, thankfully, and Shea Pinckney, 2 kids who started a lot for us. But I think it should show the respect for the program. I mean, listen, Creighton returned almost their entire starting lineup. UConn's UConn. Marquette returned 3 or 4 starters. So, for us to be picked where we're picked, it says a lot about us, too.
No, it's fantastic. Fantastic. Let's see. I'm sorry. So the team itself, I noticed you have a very good mix of veteran leadership, and you're also starting to work in some of the younger players as well. Is that by design?
Yeah, I think we have a great core. We have a lot of upperclassmen, obviously. But we have a freshman like Savannah Catalan who's a great player. I mean, I got to get her on the court. I got to get her minutes. I got to get her to play. Janiyah Fitzpatrick, she's played in the fourth quarter the last 2 games and brings a lot of energy and excitement to the team. I mean, she's a tremendous athlete. As soon as she continues to learn the college game, she's going to be a great player for us. Shea Pinckney is a starter as a sophomore in our program. So we have a lot of good young talent as well. Sometimes it gets overshadowed with the great veteran talent we have. But, we're excited not just for this year, but we're excited to continue to build, on our success so far.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that when the second unit comes in, there's really no fall off on quality of play.
No, I mean, the second unit are all starters. I mean, McKenna could easily start. Yaya could easily start. I mean, Satterfield could easily start. Shea Higgins was a starter. Savannah, Shannon. I mean, she was a starter at Cornell for 4 years. So we have a lot of good depth, a lot of good players, and I think that's how we're going to separate ourselves this year.
So McKenna, why don't you, if you can, what was it like to, as a player, enter the transfer portal? Was that something? I know there's a lot of between the men's and women's game. There's a lot of, from a fan perspective or media on my end, fan media perspective. What's it like? Because it just seems like everybody has a different perspective of it, and I've never really have asked a player before until now.
It's very it's a new world. I would tell you that. I never thought I would leave UMass. And then, the opportunity presented itself, just trusting in God, trusting in his process for me, just allowing him to lead my life. When I entered the transfer portal, I didn't know what was next. I didn't know if I was even going to, get picked up with all the other people in the transfer portal. But, God gave me another opportunity. I ended up here. And that's the biggest thing, I guess, just trusting the process and allowing, God to lead your life.
Is it similar to when you were a junior, senior in high school and schools were coming after you? Or is it a little different?
Absolutely. Just having to pick up the phone, making new connections. You obviously learn from, getting recruited out of high school, the do's and don'ts, what you are looking for. And I guess like for me, my perspective on, what I was looking for now being a junior, it just changed a lot for me. Like I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted, stability. I knew I wanted to definitely come to another program and win, and just be around great people.
That's fantastic. And Coach, what is your perspective of the transfer portal?
We've had a lot of success with transfers, and I like the old days where you didn't have a portal. You just had to know someone beforehand. Now it's easy for everyone to find out who's out there. You just look on, but it's here to stay. We were attracted to McKenna because of her as a person first. I mean, my recruiting coordinator, Cassandra Calloway, coached her at UMass, and she didn't walk into my office and say she's a really good player for us. She said she's a great person, and we need that. We need to have great people. We need some leadership, some excitement, some talking, some physicalness. And she's a talented player. I just gotta say, like what you see with McKenna is just a shell of what she's going to be in a week, a month, 6 months, a year. She'll be a tremendous player for us. She'll be an all-conference player by the time she leaves here. There's no doubt in my mind. And a lot of times these transfers, they don't get to fulfill their potential because either they're not given the opportunity where they were or they go to the wrong place. We have a vision for McKenna. She works her rear end off every single day. I'm very proud of her for that. But we utilize the portal, but we want to find out about the kid first because we do believe in our player development. And, it was easy to learn about McKenna because of Cassandra, but, I give Cassandra a tremendous amount of credit bringing in McKenna, but I give McKenna a tremendous amount of credit every single day for how hard she works as well.
Yeah, I noticed also, Coach, I'm going through your roster. I mean, you got some transfers. You have Oklahoma City with Micah Gray. I mean, not just transfers, but players in general. You're getting a pretty far reach as far as the program is concerned. Is that something you always wanted to do? Is that how did that come to fruition?
I think it's the environment now. Obviously we look at local kids as well, and a lot of the local kids, either don't understand, don't realize, don't appreciate, what a great school Seton Hall is, and what the people are, and what a great basketball program there is. I mean, we lost a kid a year ago to a school that didn't even have a head coach. Like they clearly don't understand it. And, when a kid doesn't understand it that way, it's not a kid we want here. We want a kid who's going to appreciate who's here, what we're about, how we're going to treat the kids. Yeah, they're going to get mad at you, of course, but I'm going to treat her like my daughter. I'm going to treat all these kids like my daughter. It doesn't mean my daughter doesn't get mad at me. But at the end of the day, I love them, and I'm going to take care of them. And, the staff is great with that as well. I just, Bobby, the portal is tough, but when you get people like McKenna, we have some really, Azana Baines is a transfer, Case Satterfield, Micah Gray's a transfer. You just brought her up. She's going to be one of the next stars of this program. And I'm just, blessed that Seton Hall, is really strong academically, so we can help these kids academically as well when they get here.
All right, Coach. Here's the I would say the one tough question for our episode today.
All right.
Lauren Park Lane. How difficult was that to see her go? What was she at? 20 points from the scoring title, I believe, coming into that last game last year. We were at the in Walsh Gym.
Yeah.
What was that experience for you? Knowing, like you said, you're very close to your players, and she was basically you on the court for 4 years.
Yeah, I love Lauren, and we were close, and this is how we look at it. The COVID year is great and bad. I mean, it's great because yes, it's giving these young ladies another opportunity to play, but it's also bad because sometimes it leaves a sour taste in your mouth. So I looked at it this way, if you're an executive and you're doing a great job at McDonald's, and everyone says McDonald's is the best place, and everyone loves it, but you want to get a different challenge, and you want to go to Burger King, and you want to either take a company that maybe isn't quite as popular or as successful as the place you're at, and you want to give that a shot for your one last year and try something different. Everyone's going to say to you, congratulations. Maybe we don't understand why you're doing it, but congratulations, because in their mind, they're getting a promotion, or they're going someplace with a different challenge. And I think that's what it was for Lauren. I don't think it was something that she didn't like here, or we didn't get along, or we had a fight at the end. We didn't. I always have a lot of respect and admiration for her. I think she just got her degree here, and that was really important. She's always going to go down as one of the greatest players to play here, Seton Hall degree. But I think she wanted a different challenge, a different environment for one last year. And, while we wanted her to stay, we respect her decision to leave and go to a different place. And hopefully she'll do really well there, and have a great fifth year, and, leave a mark there like she left a mark here. I mean, I think at the end of the day, you can never underestimate or never, not acknowledge what a great player she was here. And how she led us to many, great days and great events. And, and she was a great kid. She is a great kid. She's got great parents. They're great people. She just do that and stuff. But, one door closes, another door opens up. And I think it's given a young lady like Amari, who we always believed was a great point guard, a chance now to really show who she is and be one of the best point guards in the country, because I truly believe that with Amari.
Do you think Lauren has a chance for the WNBA?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
size is a little.
Yeah, I think Lauren has a huge heart. I don't, we had a lot of WNBA scouts come here. I read those reports to Lauren. So, we constantly have WNBA people here. I've done this for 30 years. So, 3 or 4 of the head coaches in the league, including the president of the Connecticut Sun, are very close friends of mine. We advised Lauren. We had them come in and talk to me and tell me what they needed Lauren to improve on. So I told her when she was here, whether she takes advantage of that or not, that's, up to her and the new staff and where she's at. But, I always believed if Lauren had stayed here, she had a chance at the WNBA. I believe if she stayed here, she would have. I can't forecast it going somewhere else.
What about Sydney? Did she ever get any feelers from the league?
Yeah,
her size and experience?
Yeah, Sydney would have been drafted if she didn't have an injury at the end of the year. She's now playing in Argentina. She's doing really well. She texted me the other day, or a phone call actually. But Sid will always have a special place in my heart because she gave me 2 great years as well. Walked out of here with her master's degree, and was one of the best recruiters I ever had. who's great at that as well. And she's a great kid too. And I really want Sid to get healthy. I think if Sid can get healthy and continue to play overseas, I think she'll have a chance to one day get in the WNBA. I mean, her skill set is fantastic.
Fantastic. Now, Coach, this is your first episode of your show. Why don't you tell the fans a little bit about your background? How did you get into coaching women's basketball?
Yeah, I was at Seton Hall as a student, and I was walking through the education building with my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and I saw an advertisement for a boys basketball high school job. So I went and I applied, and the guy got back to me and goes, "Listen, I can't hire you to be the boys coach. You have zero experience," even though I wrote down all this baloney experience. And he goes, "Why don't you coach the girls team?" He goes, "Come in and interview for the girls team." So I went in. I'm like, "I don't want to coach the girls." He's like, "No, coach the girls. You could be the varsity coach. Your friend could be the assistant coach, and they're good, and they'll love you because they hated the coach before you." And he was right. And we had 3 great high school years. I became a Division II assistant to Patrice Walker at CW Post. She gave me an opportunity to coach in college. Became the head coach at Southampton part-time. Worked with my dad, owned our own business. He passed away. I inherited it. I thought I was going to do that the rest of my life. LIU Brooklyn, John Suarez gave me an opportunity to be the head coach there. We had Ange, who I coached against the other day, who was my point guard. We went to the NCAA tournament our first year. Conference finals our second year. And then Sean Brennan, the AD at Iona, who's still a good friend of mine, gave me an opportunity to come and resurrect that program. And then, I went to see, I thought I was going to be at Iona my whole career. And then Pat Lyons left, became the AD here. Coach Donovan left college coaching to go to pro coaching. There was an opening. I got it. And players like Dee Dee Simmons, Shakina Richardson, Deja Simmons, we brought in a couple of them. Dee Dee was already here, and he turned out to be really good. And I got players like McKenna and Amari and Azana, and we'll be really good with them. So, a lot of it's luck. I've had great assistants, Christy Abadi at Iona, obviously Lauren DeFalco, and obviously the staff I have here, Jose and Pete and Cassandra and Dee Dee. Shakina is one of my honestly best friends too. And she coaches with me and she played for me. So at the end of the day, I'm just really lucky with the people that surrounded me. And Marissa Flair, one of my former players, was an assistant here and did a great job. Mandy Myers at Iona. It was weird, Bobby, playing the other night against Iona. I did it on the road once, but having them come into our gym and playing them, when I left Iona, we were on the cusp of being, one of the most dominant teams. And we when at Iona, we recruited the number 1 all-time leading scorer in the MAC and the number 3 all-time leading scorer and number 1 all-time leading rebounder. So I left them, and it was before the days of transfers back then. So they all stayed. They stayed as a group. They stayed as a family. We had built a great family there, and they all wanted to stay together, and I respected that. The following year, Alicia Powell joined us and really helped lead us to the NCAA tournament as well. But at the end of the day, Bob, like it's been a long journey. I'll be 58 in a couple of weeks, and this year's team is a little different, special. They get along. They're just nice. They're really nice people, but they're very competitive, and it's hard because there are a lot of new kids and they're really talented. Like this kid could start on any team in the Big East, and she's coming off the bench right now, and I'm sure she'll be in the starting lineup at some points too. But she's a huge factor in our success, and that's why I wanted her to be. I was so happy you asked for her to be on. That's why I was so excited to have her on. I mean that. But it's been a great journey. I thank my wife. Obviously, she's been great. My daughter and I are very close. My son, knows the game as well as anyone, and he's really helped me a lot. And obviously, I give a special shout out to Lauren DeFalco. Played for me 4 years. Spent 3 years at Iona and 10 years here. She gave up a lot of her life to be here. It's for us to be successful, and always be grateful for her.
Last question on my end. I noticed you have a couple of ladies on the end of the bench who aren't dressed. Are they injured?
Yeah, we have 2 young ladies that are injured right now. Brazil Harvey Carr, a kid that I recruited out of high school, and she graduated from Manhattan. She had a great career there. Led really well coached team. Heather does a great job over there, and she graduated. She just wanted to try and play in a home state school, and she's from Jersey, Brazil. I'll give you a quick, interesting story.
Sure.
Brazil and Azana born on the same day, in the same hospital. Both are twins and both are left-handed.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Crazy.
Wow. They're teammates. But Brazzilla's overcoming, a lower body injury, and we're hoping to get her back shortly. And Sydney Eggleston is a very talented freshman who is also, rehabbing a lower body injury. I'm not sure how much she'll play this year because we also don't want to waste a year on her because Sydney's a huge part of our future of our program. So we'll see. I hope to get Brazil back shortly. Sydney, I'm not sure of yet. But both are working hard and both have helped us a lot already.
Awesome. McKenna, any final thoughts on your experience at Seton Hall?
I would just say I'm excited for the season. I want to say thank you to all the fans that have been supporting so far, that's been coming out. We love the energy. We need the energy. We want that support. So I just want to say thank you and just keep watching us.
Fantastic. And Coach, we'll be back. We got to discuss the next 2 weeks because I have a travel day next week, and the week after that's Thanksgiving. But we'll figure out next 2 weeks when the broadcast.
Yeah, we can go. We can move it to, if you want to do it Wednesday morning, the day of the Rutgers game, we can as well.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
I'm actually going to Notre Dame next week, so I've been a Notre Dame fan. There's stuff all around my studio about Notre Dame, and my first game is next Saturday. I'm gonna be crying like Rudy's dad when I see that stadium next Saturday. But no, we'll talk about that, and I'll see both of you on Sunday. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Thanks.
Best wishes against Columbia, and we'll this is great. And then what we'll do now that we kind of know what we're doing, we'll go live next week. So we'll get some fan interaction and some fan questions as well.
Great. Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, McKenna. See you guys on Sunday. Bye-bye.